yesterday. People still may take a...
What up, Cowboy fans and YouTubers? It's that V8 Dallas Cowboy fan coming back at you. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting down below. I make these videos for me and you, and they're a little therapeutic, you know, especially with the tragedy that happened last Sunday. I got my fam here. We're going out to get some Super Bowl snacks and foods. And the reports today are that Dak Prescott is not afraid to hold out if he does not get a contract extension. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of you haters out there that still are saying, he sucks, who cares, let him go. Yeah, that ain't happening. So, y'all can forget that talk. But if he does hold out, that's going to really mess up the timing between him and Mike McCarthy and the whole implementing of the new old offense. It's the same language and terminology, but it's going to be a little different, more to Mike McCarthy's look instead of Jason Garrett's. Hopefully, Cowboys stop messing around and get a deal done as soon as possible so we can move on to Coop and Byron Jones and Robert Quinn and, you know, all the other guys that we got to pay if we're going to keep them. But this one contract is the one that is looming and holding everything up. You'd think they'd have started already, but it might happen more around combine time, because then the people's agents and the owners are all there and they talk a little more. What? Okay. What else? Got distracted. Jason Witten. Wife over here. Trying to be all off camera and secretive. She can speak. She act like she don't want to be on camera or be heard. And then be talking very loud. Jason Witten actually wants to continue playing into 2020. Now, more than likely, that's not with the Cowboys because we have no need for him. He halted the progress of Blake Jarwin, which a lot of fans were upset about. And, I mean, he's a legend and everything, but when you're your age and he's starting to have the case of dropsies like he did last season, he's not dependable anymore. His stats weren't that great. They were the lowest since his rookie season. And you think, you know, Jarwin, who had 34% less snaps last season, did pretty much the same statistically. I think it's time to move on. I'd love to keep him, but he'd have to really, really understand there is no need for him to be on the offense all the time. It's time to take a step back. You know, get a little more coaching side instead of playing side, like Sean Lee did when he was hurt. You don't have to be on the field to still help out. That's all right. Let little man talk. Jerry Jones is down there spearheading the NFL and the NFLPA on the new CBA talks and agreements. We'll have to see if anything happens. They had their big to-do last night, and, you know, alcohol's flowing. They get to talking a little bit. Some things are thrown back and forth. The main sticking points are, of course, the 17-week season. The players are not into that. And the marijuana testing, which the players are like, get rid of. So somebody's going to take a hard line, and DeMaurice Smith has already said, don't be surprised if there is going to be a strike and a lockout. So be looking forward towards that after 2020. It may happen. I don't see the NFL backing down, and I don't see the players backing down, but we've said that before. In 2010, it was supposed to happen, and after a couple weeks of players not getting paid, they signed whatever was in front of them. So that's how that goes. They start taking people's paychecks, they start crumbling. The only way the owners are going to crumble is if the players stay steadfast, because they're not going to get paid if you don't get paid, and if there's no product on the field, they don't care. You know, they might do the whole scabs and get you know, XFL guys or Arena League guys to try and play a season. But who's going to want to see that? Who's going to pay tickets for that? Not me, but that's just me. There's not really much else to talk about yet. They're still having a good time down in Miami. A couple people have seen Jerry Jones's boat. It's huge. There's all your money right there. The man's got it. You see, he's sparing no expense when it comes to his coaches. Makes you wish for those days before free agency where you could just pay a player anything he wanted just to get him. I'd love those days, the mercenary days as I call them. But that's not happening anymore. So we are where we are. We got to deal with our own before we can look outside for any help. But that's the news for now. If anything else comes up, we'll get it to you. Y'all have a good Friday. Stay safe, stay warm. Enjoy the Super Bowl. We'll probably be back with you next week unless something happens. Talk to y'all later. Peace.